we're going to be giving you a breakdown on a trade that we took that went about 1,500 plus pips in profit. And we took this trade on Thursday, which I think was the 12th of February. All right, and everybody's been asking that we do a breakdown on how we're able to spot this trade and get on that trade. So we're going to be giving you guys a complete breakdown, and I want you to make sure you stick to the end and watch this video to the end. And also, guys, don't forget to subscribe. All right, and also you can join our free Telegram group. We always do drop some updates and tips there for traders. If you feel that's going to be helpful for you, then also do well to join the group, the Telegram channel. We're going to put it somewhere there. Right, guys, so let's get into it. Now, first of all, I need to say this. Now, this is the trade that we caught. Now, if you look here, you see we have two different trades that we took, right? You see the first one right here. It's a trade that had a stop loss about 20 pips, sorry, 200 pips, and the take profit was about 1,900 and something pips, right? And guys, it's a risk to reward of 1:9, right? Or 1:10 there, about 1:10. Then just right after that, we took another one right underneath that one, and that one was about a 70 pips profit. Sorry, stop loss with same target, right? And this was about 1:20 thereabout, right? Risk to reward. So we're gonna break down this trade for you guys and let you guys know how we were able to catch this trade. Now, first of all, the first thing I need to make you guys understand is I I love to be very simple with my trading strategy, all right? I make my trading very simple, as simple as I can, all right? And I think that's something a lot of traders need to start doing. Don't complicate your trading. If you complicate your trading, trading would be a lot more difficult for you. So I like to make my trading very simple as I can, right? Now there are certain things I do use. Yes, do I have indicators? People always ask that. Yes, I do use one or two indicators, but I don't use that as my foundation, right? I only use that to add to my whole analysis. Let's say after I've analyzed the charts, I've understood what's happening with the price action, then that's just going to be like a secondary thing to just, know, okay, maybe this is a good entry level or not, right? So, but I don't normally talk about those indicators, right? So let's just go straight into the charts. Now, if you look at the charts, now why were we able to get into this trade? First off, we always love to do our analysis from the higher time frame, right? So if you go to the weekly, let's start from the weekly, yeah, you see that in that week, which was this particular week, yeah, no, which week was that? Yeah, this particular week, yes, this last week, right? In that week, you'd see that the previous week before this week, this particular week that we have here, right, was a bullish candle, right? You can see clearly that gold rejected upwards and was quite bullish. That is referring to this candle. It closed really bullish, right? You can see it. So knowing that, we said, okay, price will most likely come down to a key level, which was somewhere around here or even lower, right? And then start rejecting from there, or it might just continue to just push up automatically, right? So we did our analysis, right, for that week, and we were expecting to see a drop in price. But instead of seeing that drop in price, because let's go to the 1 hour. This is the 4 hour that I went to. Let's go to the 1 hour. Let me show you something there, something I usually love to do. So seeing this, I drew my trend line first of all from here, because gold likes to respect a third touch most of the times, right? And that's if you know where to draw from, right? So I drew this, and so in this new week I was hoping and expecting that price, I was hoping that price would most likely drop down into this region first and then start to bounce from there. But what did we get? Instead of that, price just pushed up and began to consolidate. It just started the week and just pushed up and began to consolidate. You see, we actually got some buys from somewhere around here. All right, got some buys from somewhere around here and then pushed up, right? Because whenever price does like this on gold, it's most likely going to just continue pushing up, right? That means gold is very bullish. But then on Thursday, I was also hoping to buy from 5020 level. That's where I wanted to buy from. And my stops would be either around 5012 or 5000 or 4985, right? But then I noticed something on the 4 hour time frame. I noticed something on the 4 hour time frame, because you remember overall we were hoping for price to come down lower to tap into this region, right? This 50% region right here. And price hadn't given us that yet. So I noticed something on the 4 hour. Let's go back to the 4 hour. Now looking at the 4 hour here, and like I said, there are several things I like to use and look out for, right? Apart from, after we've analyzed the market structure and everything, right? I do like to look out for engulfing candles. All right, engulfing candles and certain patterns. One of the patterns I primarily look out for is the heads and shoulders pattern. Those are the two things I really like to use, alongside with my trend line and my support and resistance and all that stuff. And also sometimes I usually look out for fair value gaps, because if a fair value gap is lines up with where I'm looking at entering from, then it makes perfect sense, right? So looking at the 4 hour here, you can now clearly see that this area here happens to be an area of resistance, right? You can see that this area here happens to be an area of resistance. Price is having difficulty just pushing higher. Then it created another area of resistance right here again. Price was giving us difficulty pushing above this level. So it just made sense that price will most likely come back down to 5,000 level, right? So seeing that there was a bearish engulfing candle right here, it makes sense that price is making an attempt to want to come down on this Thursday, right? You see this here. This is a bearish engulfing candle here that printed. All right. Then after that, we saw another bearish engulfing candle. Now, sorry, bearish engulfing candle. These are two bearish engulfing candles. This is suggesting to us that price is trying to drop. Now, mind you, we're overall bullish. So if whenever we're overall bullish, majorly bullish on the chart, I try not to get in on a sell unless the cells are looking very juicy, right? So right now, right here, I looked at it and I saw, okay, this cell is beginning to look very juicy. I don't like to get in on the cell, and I don't like to tell people to get in on the cell when I know the market is majorly bullish, right? But when I see that the markets are looking very good, everything seems to be lining up properly, then I probably might get into it, right? Because we know gold is generally overall bullish, right? But here now, um so after that, after this second bearish engulfing candle, I knew gold would most likely go down. I waited, this one fully formed, and when this one fully formed, this one pushed back up here. I was like, okay, very good. Then this time, at this point in time, this was a good time for me to start getting ready to buy, right? Because I had seen what was forming, I'd seen everything, I'd seen the heads and shoulders pattern, everything that I needed to see. Okay, now if you look, you clearly see that there's a heads and shoulders pattern right here. All right, now looking at this, we can see that, okay, gold has given us two bearish engulfing candles, and I entered this first trade at the last hour of this 4 hour candle. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying. At the last hour of this 4 hour candle, that was when we got into this trade. The very last hour of this 4 hour candle, even at the last minute, that's when it started to drop. All right, and there's a way I get in on those trades, a sniper entry on the lower time frames, knowing what I'm looking for, right? So I got in there with my stops just right above here, because I expected that, okay, even if price tries to push up, it might push up, yes, reject, and then start to drop. I was really hoping for it to. You could have put your stops here, or you could have decided to put your stops above here, but that would have been way too high, seeing that I don't like these sales because gold is majorly bullish, right? So my stops was just right above here. Then we got in on that trade, and once we got in on that trade, I got in on a 1 minute or 5 minutes, right? Let's just leave that, but I don't want to go into that right now. So got in on that trade from there, and then this bearish candle closed bearish engulfing candle as well, third bearish engulfing candle on the 4 hour time frame, and I was like, now this is it. Then we already know that since it closed like this, there's a chance that price will come back up again, close to want to test, this uh, area, and then start to drop again. And that was an opportunity to get in on the second trade. Now, initially, when I saw this, I told my guys to start looking to sell at 50.62, right, which is somewhere around here, 50.62 level. All right, that if price gets there, you should start looking to sell. But as price got there, I waited. I saw price was still pushing up again. Got the opportunity I was looking for around this point and gotten at 50.73 level. All right. And once we got in there, put our profit, our SL just a little bit, or right on top of the um, entry of the first one. So that way, even if we, even if the price goes up, it takes us out. We're still at, not really at a loss, right? Almost like break even, right there about. So that's what we did. And then price, what did it do? It just tanked all of a sudden. Hope you guys are hearing me. Why is this mic season? So when that happened, it just tanked, and we saw price dipping down and gave us about 1,500 plus pips in profit, guys. So this was how we're able to get in on this trade, and it was really an amazing trade. All right, it was really an amazing trade. And another thing again I can also share with you guys is, you see this first trade we took. If you look to the left, you see something like an indecision candle right here. A lot of times I found that if you study the charts and you look at it very well, whenever you see price like this and you see the price is about to give you a push down or give you that go in a certain direction, price will most times come back into that indecision candle and test it, and then probably push or move from that point. All right, and as you can see, that's what happened. It came into that zone, tested it, and began to drop. All right, this other one too came into this zone but passed it just a little, went higher, and then began to drop. All right, and I'm sure if you go to a lower time frame, you see probably there was a fair value gap in this last bearish engulfing candle that got formed. So that was how I basically got into the trade. And when we got in, came out here, took some of my profits from here, and then left the others. Then I took the last sets from somewhere around here when I saw price was now beginning to look like it wants to go up. Now after this, guys, guess what? Again, we were able to catch the buys also on Friday. We posted all these on our Telegram, our free Telegram. So if you guys would love, you could go check it out. We joined the free Telegram, so whenever we post things like this, you would see them and you could also learn from these things. So like I said, we make our trading as simple as possible, and this is just a simple support, resistance, heads and shoulders, engulfing candle pattern, and understanding price action and market structure. That's just what we use to get our our entries. So let's see how everything goes, guys. So if you learned anything from this, let me know in the comment section. If you have questions, let me know in the comment section. If there are things that you want me to look into, if there's any question you would like me to answer, let me know in the comment section. And that's it, guys. Peace out, and I do hope you have an amazing trading week.